Greetings and good morning, each and every one of you. Not sure what happened there, but I'm glad to be here with you on this marvelous Monday. I hope you guys are doing well. I hope the weekend was great, and I hope you didn't see Tron, because it was not great. So, yeah. I'm going to say it this way. Disney should stop making movies and TV and pretty much everything else. They are not good at any of it, and all they're doing is pushing away the audience. And Tron Ares was certainly proof that, they lost their touch. They lost something. They lost their minds, probably. But I want to say hi to each and every one of you, or as many of you as I can get to in the limited time that we can afford. So let's say hi to Dr. Jill and thank her for being everywhere. We got OC Dobbins in the house as well. Griffin's View. Good day, Griffin. Hope you're doing well. And we got more and more out there, including Penny. I saw Toeback on the green machine, along with Caveat Ties and Crazy White Boy. The lovely Georgia Peach is here. Good to see you. And we have so many more. But look, it is a wild day, and I'm glad you're doing well. And I'm hoping your family is going through a lot. And Griffin is acknowledging that as well. But I'm praying for everybody, as I always do. So Barry is here, the music man. What's going on, Barry? Hope everything is well. Allow me to get the proper sleep I need. Huskies? Yeah, you were probably up late. Let's see who else is out there in the world. Commander Ed Straker of Shadow is. Good to see you, my friend. And our favorite polar bear, Snartapoopus Burr. I think you will be okay with today's story. There were many negative stories about bears this weekend. Bears seem to be attacking a lot of people lately. I don't know if you guys have noticed that or if it's just me, but true story. True story. Try to get this in the right spot. There we go. All right, Walter Tomaszewski is out there. Great to see you, Walter. Hope you're doing well. A few observations. Tron was good but boring, futuristic movie of its time, 1982. That should have never been remade. 2, the small Walmart next to me is shutting down as WM only. What? As WM only construct. I'm not sure what that is, but cool. Or not cool. I must have read that wrong. Probably my fault. Misunderstanding by the old guy. All right, speaking of the old guy, SFX F314 Sabretooth Raptor is in the house. Great to see you, my friend. Hope you are doing well. Once again, quick reminder, we are trying to get 1,000 members for the channel by the end of the month. And look, for the price of a cup of coffee, you too can be a member each and every month and not miss anything and get a wonderful Members First video like you got yesterday. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was your jam. And there's lots more to come. In fact, I'm working on a video right now that'll be released later today. It might be Tron related. Who knows? All right, friends. Well, we've had a lot of fun chatting around, but we got 6 minutes starting now. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night, wherever you are, whenever you're watching. Thanks for checking out the 6 Minute Daily. We have a lot to talk about, not a lot to do. Most is related to Tron and Disney being terrible, but there's more news in there as well. In fact, we'll start here with Tron's Ares light cycles. We're tracking at a $44 million U.S. opening projection. That was on the 18th. I said bologna sausage. And guess what? I was right, because Tron Ares box office grid dimmed to 33.5 million on the Sunday update, and that's where we sit with the numbers. And if you watch today's video that already dropped it, well, let's see, Pacific time, it would have been like 5:30 in the morning. You would be well informed. If you haven't seen that video yet, please go and check it out. It is phenomenal, if I say so myself, and only about 13 minutes long, giving you the entire box office weekend all in one shot. Most of it bad. In fact, the earnings numbers are bad. We can talk about that later, but looks like James Gunn may not be around for very much longer. He basically could be fired from DC Studios, at least based on a lot of rumors. Now, this is being reported by multiple outlets, and this may even be in question when you talk to the mainstream trade. So if the Paramount sale does go through, if the acquisition happens, he may be gone. And that might be a good thing, because so far he's not given us very much to look forward to. This guy is, I've decided finally, is a man-child, and he is adding ill repute to what was already ill repute. he's not very good. He's not. It's not reputable. He's maybe adolescently hung up on sex in a way that's probably unhealthy for a major superhero franchise. Speaking of that, we got the Odyssey star, laugh out loud, Elliot Page. Yeah. Very happy to reconnect with Nolan, more comfortable in yourself. And meant so much to me to transition. I'm not going to get into a political argument here. I'll just say, not really looking forward to Odyssey. Not looking forward to Tilly Norwood, but the AI confusion will shape the looming negotiations when we come up on not only copyright, but also in more strikes. I have a feeling the guilds are going to absolutely bonkers as they are too expensive, or their employees are too expensive to even employ nowadays. One battle after another is a hit with critics because it aligns with a leftist sensibility. That's what Bret Easton Ellis says. There's a liberal mustiness to this movie, and well, yeah, speaking of mustiness, Leonardo DiCaprio is in it. We got Disney scrapping Dwayne Johnson deepfake for Moana. That means they're actually using him. And an AI-generated soldier for Tron Ares because the company couldn't risk the bad publicity. Dude, Disney is all about bad publicity. It's all the kind of publicity they can get these days. Speaking of which, we had a terrible loss over the weekend. Diane Keaton passed, and her romantic and collaborative partner, Woody Allen, said a lot of nice things about her, despite, well, what happened betwixt them. Taylor Swift announces a 6-episode Disney minus Eras Tour docuseries and final show concert film. And I'm sure Disney will lap that up. And when you think about final show, she's not saying she's not going to perform anymore. She's saying that you can see the last show of that tour. So, yeah, I know a lot of people were hopeful. A lot of people were bummed. But, Taylor's going to still be around. John Oliver slams Barry Weiss takeover of CBS News because, as he says, as one of the most large perpetrators of misinformation, she spent years putting out work that is, at best, irresponsible and at worst, deeply misleading. If anybody would know deeply misleading or outright lies, it would be John Oliver. Moving on, we've got J.D. Vance warning for deeper cuts ahead for federal workers as shutdown enters 12th day. I have a feeling that when we do this tomorrow on the 14th day, when we are doing Thank You for Your Attention to This Matter podcast, it's going to be, the cuts will have happened. This is going to be very bad for Democrats just to try to get through this No King's Day, which apparently the Democrats funded. Interesting. UK watchdog targets Google's strategic role in search ads and competitive market. Look, Google's just in trouble. They became more big than their britches, and the government doesn't like competition. We've got U.S. stocks rallying this morning. Trump sounds conciliatory note to trade with China. Yeah, he's saying, don't do this other bologna sausage that affects the world, and we can still play. We got China's exports again dropping in September, while rise in global shipments hits a 6-month high. I'm thinking that's a lot of spend. In fact, since it's coming from China, I know it's a lot of spend. Also know uncertainty over the economy and tariffs forces many retailers to be cautious on holiday hiring. This is all hype from the AP, trying to be silly. I'm not sure we've even decided where we are for hiring. I mean, have you seen anybody marketing Christmas yet? Usually still Halloween. Dutch government takes control of a Chinese-owned chip maker, Nexperia, over governance shortcomings. In other words, it's being improperly managed, and China's losing one of their offshore chip production facilities. And finally, a bear who opens doors like humans breaks into a house and scares the living Hades out of everybody. And there he is, famous. And I was looking for a video here, and let's see. No video, so we didn't miss anything. But anyway, the bear did scare everybody in the household, so I kind of feel bad. I do. That does happen, though. Bears like to make their presence known. And they usually do. Indubitably. You can go and watch that link over on AOL. You just can't watch it here on the show for some reason. But yeah, the insane video is out there, and I'm going to make it so you can watch it. Now, this video has some bad language in it, so I'm gonna share with you something I normally wouldn't. So if you have little ones during this bear piece that I'm about to show, um, just know that there is some naughty words in here, and that is no bueno. This is coming from TikTok, and the creator here is called Dala something. And if this disappears from the video later on the replay, it's because it was suggested that it's not owned by me, and I'm going to suggest that as well. But this is fair use because I'm using it to show you what's going on right now. So let's take a look. Here is the bear thing, and here it is again, cursing word.
Yo, get the out.
Nope. Oh my god, 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 oh my god.
It's just a bear.
Out of here.
Open the door.
Yo, how did he get in?
Mom! So, fuck off. We need someone to
Get inside there. Get inside.
No.
I'm calling cops.
Get
Get
inside.
inside. Oh my god. Yo, Abby, watch me. I'm gonna open the door. No, Sam.
Just open it, just open it. Wait. I'm watching her back. Here, go. He's in the fridge.
That's pretty wild stuff. The bear's in the fridge. It's crazy. Anyway, thought I'd show you a little bit of it. Some fair use of it. Not sure I enjoyed the language so much, but there's that. It's just a bear. Yeah, I could eat your face off. Apparently, lots of bad things happened to people over the last week because of bears. Bears are for real, and they will literally remove your head from your body. That happened this week in the South, by the way. So there's that. We got a super duper chat just a moment ago. I want to say thank you for that. Also saw Biggles Mets dropped something in the chat as well. But Walter Tomaszewski says, Tron is of its time, 1982, good but boring. 2, Walmart's WM shutting down a store. Oh, okay. I misread this earlier. Next to me, they only build stores to last 25 to 30 years. I've got one right down the way from me that's been there at least that long. So, but the neighborhood markets are the ones that I'm surprised are still around. I think they would have figured out it was not to their benefit to undercut or to produce smaller versions of their Walmart and devalue their larger locations, but that's just me. Tony Piacente is generous as anything, and I appreciate it. He sends out 5 CultureCasino memberships, which are amazing. And I think, my friends, one of my friends is in here too. Let's see. I was correct. Biggles Mets has been here for a long, long time. 58 months. Folks, that's as long as I've had memberships. He says, have no fear. I am here. Yes, you are, my friend. And your continued support is amazing. Thank you, my friend. You are incredible, amazing, spectacular, wonderful, brilliant, funny. It's almost like I'm trying to date you. That's weird. Anyway, let's keep going. Spaceship Vampires in the house, along with Evil Ramen. And we've got RJ McCready. What's up, buddy? Spaceship Vampire right there. Oh, here we go. We got Ron is right. Ron's right. Hey, call animal control and get the hell out. Yeah. Well, here's the problem. Bears have a tendency to make messes. Open the door, though. Fenrir House says Tron stole Flynn's girlfriend, Lacey Underalls. All I know is that movie didn't do well. We're actually going to touch on that a little bit more because I don't think I was 6 minutes is not enough time to do 17 stories, and yet I do it every single weekday. But I like to dive deeper on times I have bonus time, and we have bonus time. So let's take a look at the Tron Ares story through the eyes of my friend, Marvin, the movie monster, otherwise known as Marvin Montanaro. We have something called bonus time we can use. So I'm going to use it. Tron was not good. Anybody who's being honest is telling you exactly what the movie is. Let's see. Jan Monroe says, I'm with you on get the heck out and then open every door you can. That's right. Get them out. Books. Check them out. That's not it. That's still a great thing, though. Tom F. What's up, Tom? Good to see you back, buddy. Hope you're doing well. Zippy catching up at 2x. All right. Well, I'll be talking really fast. And Helena J is out there as well. Once again, I want to say a big thank you and shout out to Tony Piacente dropping 5 Culture Casino memberships, helping us get closer to the 1,000 membership goal. And as I'm trying to plan every Tuesday to be Revelation Day to let you know how many members we have, it'll give you an idea. Yeah. Has Pro posted his video on Tron? I didn't see it, Helena. I did not. And I'm hoping that it's posted soon. He may have, and I just missed it. Pro posts 4 times a day. I'm going to try to post 2 times a day. That's hard enough. I would say if he didn't have the ability to drop in some clips on some of the videos, it would be, I don't know how he does it. I really don't. Someday I'll do that. I need staff, and I can't afford to pay staff yet for this channel. It's not an economic situation I can fund extra. I'm doing lots of extra funding right now. Lots of my friends are in trouble. All right, let's get to the bonus here that I have that I set up. I need to shrink this. So from Marvin Montanaro, as I said. Tron Ares flops hard in opening weekend at box office as trades try to blame anything but quality for failure, including COVID. How many years are we away from COVID? And this film didn't even enter production until after COVID. Regardless, Disney's long-awaited Tron Ares, I was not waiting for it. I knew it was a disaster, has officially crashed on entry to the weekend box office. Despite heavy promotion and years of anticipation, the sci-fi sequel opened to just $33.5 million. And if you were a member of the channel, you got a chance to see today's video early. It's another reason to turn on all notifications so you don't miss anything, because it went public this morning at 5:30 a.m. Pacific. Or 8:30 a.m. Eastern, depending on where you live. Regardless, that video is out there, so please go check that out after we're done today and find out that globally, it only did 60.5 million worldwide. Absolutely terrible. AP News, Entertainment Weekly, the numbers, pretty much all the trades came out and told us exactly how much of a failure this was. For a film carrying a reported $180 million to $200 million, it's more likely $200 million. Those are alarming numbers. They are. It's terrible. This is as bad or in line with one battle after another. And interestingly enough, right in line with Taylor Swift for a concert or an album promotion from a week or two ago, which I make points of in my video. Early estimates projected on opening were between 80 and 90 million, which I said was poppycock. I may not have actually used the word poppycock, but I meant it. And yeah. Not good. Tron Ares' box office debut illustrates an uncomfortable reality for Disney. Visual spectacle and nostalgia can't save a story that fails to resonate. Well, that and the message, the girl boss message, which is what was in here, regardless of what anybody else says. Watch Nerdrotic's video. He will tell you. And what's worse, the trades are blaming the 2020 global lockdowns for this failure. How? Somebody needs to explain that to me. So a lot of people say a decade too late. It's been nearly 15 years since Tron Legacy hit theaters in 2010, and the audience may have simply moved on. Well, you have to consider the original film was 1982. I was 12 years old. We are now in 2025. I am nearly 55 years old. That's a long time. I mean, for me, even. The film debuted with 44 million domestically. That would be legacy. And ultimately moved on to 400 million worldwide. By comparison, Ares started out nearly 25% lower. And with ticket prices higher today, that gap is even more significant in real terms of butts and seats. Yeah, well, we've been talking about this a long time, I think. We've been talking about it. So what does it tell you? Nobody trusts Disney anymore. It's a point I make in the video that I want you to go watch when you're done here. Nobody trusts Disney. They don't go see their movies. They know they're loaded up with the message. And the minute early reviews come out and people pay attention to their favorite creator who's doing them, guess what happens? Everybody goes, oh, as expected. I mean, even Legacy had a certain amount of girl boss in it. Olivia Wilde kind of hammed up that role and kind of destroyed the film for me despite her level of attractiveness. So, as much as a boy as I am, I can see not super great things in it. The soundtrack was good. And actually, the music for this film, if you've heard it yet, not bad. Not great, but not bad. It's definitely not, the previous group, Daft Punk, was, well, uniquely suited to be the soundtrack. Yeah. Anyway, Tron Ares feels like a digital echo, visually stunning but emotionally hollow. Oh, those are not good things. It lacks substance. I mean, that's probably the best way to describe it. It relies too much on stunning. Oh, wait, Games Radar said it relies too much on stunning but vapid, accusing it of relying on nostalgia rather than delivering meaningful storytelling. Look, the commentary on this by all the critics isn't great, and not by any of us out here in the real world. Deadline places the blame on COVID specifically, COVID era audience behavior. You know what? Here's an interesting thing. Top Gun Maverick was one of the films that actually uniquely entered the space in that era, and it had no trouble, which means if you have a good story and you have nostalgia and you have good dialogue and you have American values in something, well, guess what? It does really well. This didn't have any of those things. In fact, what's interesting is he uses my example, Top Gun Maverick, Deadpool and Wolverine, Inside Out 2. By the way, Deadpool and Wolverine, Inside Out 2, both Disney movies. You realize when Disney actually does make something good, people do go to it. Fascinating stuff. So the more likely scenario, not COVID, that involves a muddled marketing message and a weak hook with incredibly divisive star in Jared Leto, who has far more misses than hits in the last few years. Trailers emphasize visuals and digital chaos, but offered little about why audiences should care. And again, it's all flash, no substance. And this is the era of filmmaking you get in postmodernism. You have to go back to being original in order for things to work. We got a super duper chat here and some other gifties I will get to in just a moment. Tony Piacente for 5 Culture Casino Cash says specifically, oops, why did it drop? The only way the pandering be blamed is because people have gotten out of the habit of going to theaters. Yeah. No, truly. I mean, like, I was reticent to see the film I have never felt more forced to go and see a film ever. I have seen films and then not done reviews on them before. That happens. But I don't know. Cat Slave over on the Green Machine says COVID directs and produces bad movies. Yeah, I know you can't blame it on that. But you can blame it on James Gunn. That's a whole other conversation. L. Bird is very generous today, gifting a Culture Casino membership. And to Emblazon 64, who was a recent visitor on Friday, was granted a lovely membership. So do take advantage and do say thank you. Because, hey, that's a nice gifty. And thank you, L. Bird. Let's see. Keep It Reals in the house. We got a few other folks like Magnify. That's the Green Machine's version of Tom. And let's see. Fenrir. So a counterbalance. What? Mark was there to run the microwave. There's not a lot. There's not a lot in this movie. There was that one character that was there for 25 seconds. The guy worked out like a maniac to get in good shape. And bye. So it's funny because I presented this as Disney kind of setting the flop record this year. And if you go through Disney releases, none of Disney films got anywhere close to $1 billion. A lot of people forget about how many failures they had because they also control Searchlight and some other picture companies under which they release things. But yeah, they released so many movies that lost money. It's staggering. Lilo and Stitch crossed $1 billion. Minecraft 2 right behind it, just under $1 billion. And everything else was like and of course Minecraft was Warner Brothers. So you start to look at Disney's track record for the last couple of years especially, and it's not good. Marvel has really been free falling. The only reason that they're leaving the Fantastic Four in the theaters is to try to get domestic over 300 million because it didn't perform internationally. This movie's not, the international numbers for this movie are dreadful. You have to think, if it did 33.5 million here in the States and only managed to do $60 million total, what is that telling you? What is that telling you? It tells you nobody's interested in this thing. There's no star power in the cult leader, Jared Leto. There hasn't been for a long time. It's Morbin time. Energy is in the Tron universe. And I don't care how many people say that, he's a lead. He's not. He's not a movie star. I know some people enjoyed Morbin. But it's because it was a meme. And this film fell so far below expectations that unless you check out Box Office Theory, the guy that used to, predict this stuff for other places, you wouldn't have known that this was going to do this bad. Because he kind of laid it out where the range it could fall in, and it was down there, way down there. I think he said 33.7 or something. But it didn't make any money. They thought $80 to $90 million worldwide, maybe 100. But 60.5 million worldwide is what we got. I'd say they missed. What would you say? What I would say is don't listen to the trades anymore because they're lying. And the people that listen to the trades are very much misled. Not only that, you're still seeing the trades and some others try to report on what it needs to do to make money, what's a break even point is, and they're always using the old metric of 2.5, the budget. Well, the problem is the published budget is before we shoot frame one. The actual budget is significantly higher, very much higher, and the amount of money that the budget that producers put in their pocket is staggering. I think most people don't realize. It's so that they can make their money back, basically. They're trying to pretend that the estimated break-even point for this movie is going to be $400 million. No, that's a lie. There's a massive lie. Jared Markham, hey, what's up, buddy? Says, just look at Marvel and Star Wars as well as most of Disney's releases post-COVID. Yeah, they've all flopped and failed. Think about it. Okay, so this year alone, we got 3 Marvel releases. None of them are profitable. None. International interest is gone. Gone. Targeted leaks aren't catching fire. There's no hype. Fantastic Boar tried to do some of that, didn't work. The Thunderdolts was a terrible flop. And Captain Anti-America was not good. There's no hype around Star Wars. Even the Starfighter thing is struggling to get any kind of traction. And now that we know it's going to be another girl boss movie, well, I don't care who you cast and put out front the male. They did the same thing with Tron. That didn't work. Everybody saw there was very little to offer in the trailers. Anything that they offered out there publicly for as far as clips, they were trying to hide the fact that the message is in this and buried in it and all over it. Like it exploded all over it. They also try to hide the budget. Not true. Sick and tired of it, really. If my computer misbehaves, I don't shoot it. Seems a bit much. True. But perfectly fair to do inside the world of Tron. So there's that. Encom. There you go. Encom server farm looks massive. Yeah, kind of like Musk's. Did you see that? They typed that massive logo, macro hard, on top of the location in Memphis. Is pretty cool. And this is also true. Fenrir absolutely identifies this truthfully. Tron 1982 was a graphics demo with a story attached. And indeed it was. It was the opportunity to see how far computer-aided graphics had come along for movie use. So true. And Snakes and Funeral says, the Hollywood blockbuster era is likely over. Video games are the future, except I'm going to say the average age of people playing video games is maybe, they suggest, 41. They also try to use the old Facebook poll from the 90s to say that women are nearly 50% of the video game market. That is not true. That is an old singular poll statistic from Facebook, not anything reputable from that time, but they still use that. I might do a video on that on the game channel, so keep an eye out on That Game Place. So that you should do. Dr. Jill says, I haven't been to a theme park since I lived in Arlington. Last time was 2015, and Six Flags was getting pretty run down. Yeah. Well, Six Flags did not do themselves any favors for a decade. George Lucas is actually here. My friend, you need to go back to the studios, please. Thank you. We need you. Let's see. Dean Krantz. Howdy, y'all. Hello, Dean. Hope you're doing well. Lightning Sketch Productions says, am I a fool for having hope that everything will get better for Disney and pop culture and that AI won't take over the film business because AI is cheating and cheating never pays? You're not. You're not a fool. Will things get better? They can only go one direction, my friend. Up. Will AI come in? Look, Justine Bateman wrote a tweet this weekend that had a lot of heart in it. And I kind of understand where she's coming from, which means I kind of understand where you're coming from. I don't know if AI will ever be good enough to fool humanity. And I don't think that that's going to be the intent. I mean, it might be with some government projects and some misinformation campaigns, I would agree. But oftentimes it'll be used for satire and parody and memes and things like that. And you know why the UK and even our government in Canada specifically are terrified of memes? Because mockery is the most effective form of criticism. When you can point back at the lack of internal logic that's thrown into a lot of these extreme leftist ideas, they're completely mitigated in time because most people will look at the meme and go, well, that's true. It's funny, but it's true. And again, just like putting a sombrero on Hakeem Jeffries and Chucky Boy Schumer, the relative of Amy Schumer. If you didn't understand why you didn't like Chuck and you didn't like Amy, it's because they're related. So there's that. But I don't think I wouldn't use anything negative at you, my friend. I think I like your optimism, and I think Disney could come back, but I don't think it's with Josh tomorrow. I think they have to go outside of the company to put a new leader in place who will immediately get rid of every poor leader in the company and just clean out the HR department, which is hot garbage, trash, DEI enabling craptastic. There. Did I say crap enough times? Because I'm trying not to say other bad words. But I am trying to say this from Joseph A. That's right, because Joseph A. is very gifty oriented with 5 Culture Casino memberships. Thank you, Joseph A., for that. We appreciate. 2468. Larry Fink, thank you. Newhouse Bruce. And BlackRock are Larry Fink and BlackRock are pushing Disney Iger to push the message, even if it destroys the company. Yep, true story. And again, BlackRock can continue to buy in with your money using your 401k into a company that's likely going to trend down for years, artificially uplifting it where it is now. That's going to be a mistake long term. There's no longevity in Disney at the moment. Again, poor leadership involved. Cynthia Carter's in the house. We got John the Beagle Dad out there. The lovely and amazing Juliet out there handling things for everybody. Spaceship says, am I still here? Yes, I see you. Once again, quick shout out to Joseph A. for those 5 Culture Casino memberships. Putin's Cat says, Lucas, I told people Phantom Menace was being down digitally, and they thought I meant using my fingers, and now all movies are being done digitally. Yeah. There's that. By the way, Slender Dad was the one that received the gift membership, one of the 5 from Joseph A. All right, what else we got? We got love. AI scares me, honestly, says Keep It Real. It should, to a certain extent. If they're trying to get to a global intelligence, that's a doom signal. Skynet will then guide wherever we're going. I don't like that idea. Never have. Um, I think one of the things that makes something intelligent is the emotional intelligence it also has, and there's no capability for emotional attachment of any kind if it's artificial intelligence. I mean, it's first of all, it's artificial, and right now it still is at the point, especially if you pay attention to the writing, that it doesn't sound human enough. The writing is pretty terrible. Let's see. Zippy! Disney is cheating now. And cheating wins when your business model is built on networking and aristocratic socializing, except the problem is it's not going to survive very long. A lot of the stuff that's been pushed, shoved, and thrown into places um, isn't working well. People's reticence, like Keep It Real was suggesting when it comes to AI, is also going to keep it from truly catching on. And again, I did a story today just a few minutes ago during the 6 Minute Daily. It talks about the fact that Disney didn't lean into an AI Moana deepfake of Dwayne Johnson, and they didn't lean into an AI deepfake of a soldier in Tron Ares, realizing that the public backlash and industry backlash would be significantly disruptive, I will say. That's a kind way of saying that. So, what else we got? John, the Beagle Dad, says YouTube censorship sucks. I agree. By the way, I went from 41,000, and over the course of the last week, I'm back down to right at just under 41,000 at 40K. So I was well above it, and then YouTube decided to start wrecking me again. So there's that. Lightning Sketch Productions says, I'm terrified of AI replacing creative people because of corporate greed, but it's still dishonest. Yeah, no, I think you could every time you see something written in AI, it doesn't seem natural. Anytime you see AI, it doesn't seem natural. And while I intend to use AI for comedy's sake, I mean, you're always going to know. I'm not going to hide it. Maybe I'll put a message on the screen. This is AI. I think that's a better way to go about things. I want to say a super shout out and thank you to Stormweaver for a Canadian $25. Thank you, my friend. Much appreciated. This is massive. I'm glad you found the show this morning. And this will definitely help the show keep glowing. Speaking of glowing, here is that particular super duper chat from our friend Stormweaver saying, good morning, CC. Hope you and yours are well. We are. Fabulous weekend, aside from it raining the whole time. Man, I got some outdoor plants that are underwater. But I'll give them a little love later today as we dry out. Says, thanks for all the great work you do. No, thank you for supporting all the great work of myself and all my compatriots. I appreciate that. And take care and all the best. All the best to you, sir. All the best to you. And of course, the amazing and the wonderful are always hanging out together because now, as you see here, the wild man of Yavin for 5 more. CultureCasino Cash says, I'm sorry, you only have 41K. I'm here, and that's what matters. So you're right. No, I don't know what happened. Like you said, I mean, YouTube is definitely targeting creators, and they're targeting people like me, which makes people like you and Stormweaver very valuable indeed. So thank you for the $5 super duper chat, my friend. I hope things get better and the government decides to come together and solve this problem. But unfortunately, their strategy, because of Big Chucky, who does not want to get primaried by AOC, is not going to do anything until after the incredibly Democrat-funded, produced, and efforted No King's Day. So there are certain rules that are supposed to govern things. Maybe you have those rules anymore. I think I'm at a loss. But anyway, thank you, my friend. I hope you're back to work soon. And thank you for being here. All right. Again, another huge shout out and thank you to everybody here who supports the channel in any way that they do. So, all right, let's get moving on. We got more in the midnight hour. There's more. Because you guys had some things to say. Zippy goes, StreamYard is no bueno. I'm saying it creatively for capturing Rumble chat. People should use OBS and Stream Ninja. Stream Ninja is a pain. They keep working on it, so I'll keep giving it a try. I'm getting close to going to EV Mux for everything because while it has its own problems, and it does, because it's running on a layer instead of running in for real. And the resource requirements are starting to mount because of the material I do. What I'll do is I'll use that for broadcasting purposes only and run everything through OBS like I did in the old days, back when I was also doing Twitch. It would give me all of the chats, and it would also give me robots and things like that to ultimately solve some problems. So all those things can work. But yeah. Hey, Canadian Spider-Man in the house, one of the old-time wrenches here. Again, thank you to all the wrenches today. I saw Jill out there. I see Juliet. I see Tom. Look at all these people out there working hard. Look at this person working hard. I never see anymore. Maravita says, people are triggered by living and breathing. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Look, I've always wondered what it is that sends people to the zoo, let's say. And I've ultimately come to this in an early part of their life, they never really had adversity and nobody ever told them no. And they never had to deal with a reality that most of us, if you're over 30, like grew up with. They didn't understand that, like we did, that, getting under your desk isn't going to solve a problem if, there's going to be a nuclear winter. You just, we dealt with a lot of weird in our life, and we partied like it was 1999. We met the hardship of Jimmy Carter's presidency, and we pushed forward into an 80s that, while it took a lot of work and there was a little bit of early suffering, became one of the best times of the life. So much happened positively then. You ended up with a Bush and then another Bush, but there was a little separation there. And again, I mean, you ended up with a lot of things that helped contribute to a lot of positive in the United States. And it led to, the collapse of the USSR and the advancement around the world and prosperity. And the oligarchs that have always felt like they were entitled to control the world fought back in a way to push all this neo-Marxism and the expansion of religious vitriol and all kinds of other things that just got in our way. We got here out of an abundance of prosperity, and we stopped paying attention to what got us to that prosperity. Instead of continuing on in the same mindset and the same desire for more, we ended up here. Cat Slave says No King's Day should be renamed No Brains Day. I'm with you. Tomorrow, my friends, we will have another thank you for your attention to this matter, the podcast here on the channel. Do you guys think that I should just create a channel that does that, like Drunk 3PO did with Welcome to the Rebellion podcast channel? You think that's worth it? Wouldn't have as many members, but I think it's worth it. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm just curious what you guys think. Yeah, that's right. Wildman of Yavin remembers getting under your desk will protect you from an H bomb. Yeah, no, it was ludicrous to us too. Our parents believed it back in the 50s. I'm like, no, but it'll keep you from being a shadow on the wall. Thank you, the Bosco scenario. Go check out Geiskar's channel. The Bosco scenario. I'm gonna tell you, he's good. He's good people. He's up there in Canada, unfortunately, but good people. Good people. Tobach says Gaga on the loudspeakers during a protest might be a good way to clear the streets, but not an intimidation. Yeah. Look, I think if you play my poker face, my poker face, yeah, that would be annoying for like 20 hours. I'm trying to see. When I get back to stream, I'm planning on a 2-stream PC setup. Yeah. I mean, if I was going to start really full-time gaming streaming again, I think I would definitely use the two PCs setup. So, because I had a different computer when I started than what I have now, and it was perfectly capable of running all the stuff. So, yeah. Yeah, Carter had a problem when he was known as by third graders as Peanut Brain. Well, yeah. And Billy Bear. That's right, the brother. Oh man, what a problem. Billy Carter. Sheesh. The good news is Carter got to see the final loss. Didn't he? Before he died? And yeah, I think so. Didn't he get to see the loss of the Democrats? I hope so. He was a good humanitarian, though. I will give him that. Habitat for Humanity was a big deal. Did a good job. I actually volunteered for Habitat for Humanity a couple of times. So yeah, I think Putin's cat is correct. I love all the other opinions about opinions. And of course, this one, indeed, that Putin's cat puts forward. That's an opinion. My poker face, my poker face. I'm going to have that stuck in my head all day. Yes, that is torture. Tobach says they carted around. No, didn't Carter get to lay in state? I think he did. I think he was given a proper recognition in a state funeral, if I'm correct. I have to ask a question. This is normally reserved for Tuesdays, and I'll probably ask this again tomorrow. But And hear me out. Hear me out. Why are elected officials not under forced retirement at a specific age? Why are they allowed to run for office when so many of us can see people like Dianne Feinstein and others like age and die in office? Why do people elect the elderly? And I'm not saying that, like, to me, the reason the presidency was originally decided to be 35 or older was because they assume that you had become an actual adult. They realize that nobody is really truly mature until their 30s. I get it. But we need a maximum age. And I'm not saying this because I'm like hating on anybody, especially Trump or anybody else, but there are certainly some people who are currently in office that are too old. So when somebody starts to make a good argument for term limits, I'm there with them, because that's a good argument for term limits. You will eventually be too old to do this job, and you shouldn't be. And oftentimes the reason for you doing the job in the first place is to accumulate wealth. And nobody in their right minds thinks that they're doing it legally or within the lines. Right? Our good friend Sean, the artist formerly known as John Cooksack, LLM, says, well, after 6 months of being here, thank you for that, my friend, says Columbus was Jewish, finding a new home for Jews. I did not know that. I would have thought that he would have been Spanish. I could be wrong. I mean, it was a Spanish fleet he was granted by the Queen, if I'm not mistaken. I could be misremembering everything I learned in elementary school, but pretty sure. Weren't the ships the Pinta, the Nina, the Santa Maria, or was that the Pilgrims? I don't even remember. That's so funny. The things I learned and then forgot are insane. Am I wrong? I'm probably wrong. It's okay. Staccato DDS is here. He's going to regret the enormous super chat he just sent for 10 Culture Casino. Says, they acolyted Starfleet. Oh, I know. Hasn't anyone learned anything from Bud Light? Oh, I love this. This is so brilliant. Why repeat those mistakes? Money to burn, my friend. I don't know. Staccato, this is insane to me. They acolyted Starfleet. You can't put that any other way. Hang on. But Stephen Colbert's going to be in it. Staccato? Come on now. You wanted Stephen Colbert, didn't you? Didn't you? Wasn't Columbus from Portugal? See, now that sounds more familiar to me. But did I get the boats right? I don't even know. I don't think I got the boats right. You know, this is smart. I'm with you. 12-year Congress limit. Yes, please. Thank you. Yep. Yeah, I think 12 years is more than enough. 6 rep and 2 Senate. Yep. And I don't think you should be allowed to trade. I mean, people do that all the time. I mean, look at Schiff. He wasn't going to win as a congressperson. That's why he ran for the Senate seat. It's also got more power, and there are fewer of them. Get 2 per state. And Helena says, not all 75-year-olds are feeble. Oh, I agree with you. Again, I have genes that if we don't get smashed with cancer, which seems like about 2/3 of us, we live into our 90s. Even the men's. So, tells you a lot. We live a long time. But we do need a cutoff. I think retire by 80 is fine. That seems reasonable. Let's do that. But let's also limit total time served. They do it with the president. Why not do it with... Everybody's like, well, you have to have continuity. I'm like, that's what the political system is for. but we shouldn't be listening to ideas from people who really their pinnacle was during the change from the horse and buggy to the automobile. Okay? Shouldn't be doing that. Trying to remember if I was right on anything that I said. Night Rabbit joined the Culturian Nation. Welcome to being a Culturian, my friend. Thank you for joining us, Night Rabbit, and thank you for being a gold member. If that was an upgrade. Nope. Welcome to gold member. Gold member. Hey, member for 10 months. A reward club member. Wow. Put in a message that was retracted. How weird is that? Columbus was Italian. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I don't know. Dude, that was so long ago. Columbus was Portuguese, but was sponsored in the voyage by the Spanish crown. Interesting. And Sean says his logs were written in a form of Hebrew. This is a very mainstream theory. I'm willing to take all of your advice because I forgot all of my elementary school education. So please forgive me. I'm starting to sound like Jay now. Drunk 3PO, my friend. I don't know. I do know this. Newhouse Bruce says Columbus was Christian according to his diary and travel logs. I don't know any of these things. And I don't know that it actually matters in that, he was thrown out the window in favor of Indigenous Peoples Day. Was that the previous regime? Was that the Biden term as president? See, I can't even call it a presidency. And again, I'm going to get guff for this. I mean, he was kind of elected, sort of, to do a job, and the auto pen did a lot of his job. My mind is going to melt. All you guys are giving me counter information. So I'm going to move on to Juliet for £2 sterling. This is proper money, ladies and gentlemen. Proper. Christopher Columbus was born in Genoa, Italy. Okay, well, there you go. And Ford versus Ferrari. There you go. There you go. Yeah, that's the Christopher Columbus story. Ford versus Ferrari. This is fun. There's no reason to talk about this, but here we are. All right. Trying to catch up with all you genius people. Oh, man. Putin's cat's like, do you all know what Google is? I'm having a chat with you guys. If you misinform me, it's on y'all. This is so fun. Sean says, I'm just going to rename him. Sean says, Feds reverted back to Columbus Day. Some states still have Indigenous Peoples Day. Yeah. True story. Holy cow. It's the one and the only Cyrano. What's up, Cyrano? Cyrano 2960 sends me Moolah 5 Culture Casino cash saying you have to be based AF not to want to take a day off from work for any reason. Well, I'm here. I try to be here every day, even days that you guys don't know I'm very ill. So there's that. But thank you, Cyrano. Much appreciated. And as Juliet says, thanks for the super chat. In fact, thank you all for your generosity today. Thank you to the Night Rabbit, which I think is an awesome name. The Night Rabbit. And everybody else that joined today, all the gifties, which actually helped the show. Staccato DDS is enormous, $10 super chat, much appreciated. And all of the member chats to remind me, thank you, members. Thank you, wrenches. And thank you to all you culturians. Cat Slave said the thing I feel right now, which is I've forgotten more than I ever learned. So true. It's like all those computer languages I used to know inside and out, they're gone. Gone. Because a lot of them since Y2K, it was never put upon me to use them again. So I lost a lot of education. I lost languages, whole languages. It's crazy. Morgan King says, Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. I think that's Canadian Thanksgiving. Is that correct? What is Canadian Thanksgiving? Like, hey, this place is cold. Let's build here. I don't know. Putin's Cat says, Can I glue some hair and beard to myself and start a CultureCasino channel? That'd be pretty neat, actually. Dude, okay, so here, Putin's Cat. So over on WDW Pro's channel, I'm being forced to watch and manage a live stream. Force is a strong word, but not because of one of the great people that contribute in our fellowship. To watch Cats, the movie. Now, I don't know if we're getting the butthole cut or not. But if we are, that might be fun for people to watch. Chef Eddie is 100% correct. If I've gone just too long, like if I've gone a week without purple potatoes, there's a decent chance that's why I got sick. I'll tell you the truth. You guys don't believe me. I'm serious. You know what? One day during a live stream, I'll make a second camera that is connected to one of my phones, and I'll take you on the journey outside, out of the massive patio greenhouse, out of the into maybe I'll take you in the hot pepper greenhouse, but I will definitely take you to go look at the potato patches that are in place now. I planted my Yukon Golds. I planted my red potatoes, and I planted what will hopefully yield me about 30 pounds of purple potatoes. Purple potatoes are amazing. Yeah. Oh, and man, they're already popping up. Turnips are going crazy right now. All my beans and peas, even though they got water deluged. Deluge. Is deluged the is that the is that the reference to the past? Yeah, deluged. Deluge. I got consumed by a deluge. A deluge. I don't know. Anyway. Elocution Safari, folks. It's really good content. John Coman is out there. There's the man himself. I don't want to see Rebel Wilson's anything. Anything? Barry the Music Man with that amazing kiss image there says, not enough cash in the world to make me watch Cats movie. Well, yeah. Yukon for the win. Yukons are so good as mashed potatoes and baked potatoes. I mean, oh, by the way, nutrients in potatoes, obviously not the eyes, don't eat the eyes of potatoes, but those nutrients are actually that layer that is attached to the skin. And a lot of people skin potatoes. One of the ways you can bolster up the value of your soil is to, if you skin potatoes and you don't eat the skins, is to throw them into your garden and bury them. So there's that. Sean says, the Marvels, the best scene was the part with cats and memories. Oh, yeah. The Clergan. Yeah. 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 Planting garlic right now. So there's a lot of debate about whether to go deep on garlic or not. I think traditional depth is the best. I think anything deeper than 7 inches is going to be a problem. It might, if you're in cold climates, it might give you a little more protection, especially if you plant this time of year. But traditional depth is usually the best, almost always. The thing is you don't bet if you're planting them in raised beds, you don't place them near the edge of the raised beds. You put like some other kind of crop that's super frost tolerant. You put those on the outside, like yeah, especially when you get a bounce back like season heading into spring where it warms early, then your potatoes will kick into full speed. So anyway, wow, this is not a gardening channel. I gotta remember that. I also have to remember my friends like Cyrano for another 2. Culture Casino Cash says Deluged is a French punk band I used to listen to back in high school. Really? I listened to like Dead Kennedys. Yeah. Public Image Limited. Right. Self-eliminating tendencies. Figure out what that one is. And thank you, friend, for the other super chat. Much appreciated. Did I say the Clarkin? The Flarkin. Okay, sorry about that. Plants do hate us. It's true. But they also make us really healthy. Keep it real is like, you're making me want to grow purple potatoes and try to eat them. Lol. Well, they're good for you. They are really good for your colon health, as a matter of fact, especially if you're, have a history of bad things in your family with your digestion, because they grow help you grow stem cells specifically. The man himself, Mexican Iron Man, this guy, loved like a brother, says Capture is live at same time as Midnight's Edge. Now IBC, I am that would now I BC, I'm one that with no chips. Unsubbing from here. Hey, Mikey, I didn't change my time, brother. Not at all. Please don't unsub. Yeah, I couldn't move my show. I've been doing my show at this time for 6 years, almost 6 years. So I mentioned that to Andre before they made the change. So there's that. Joseph for another $2 in Culture Casino Cash. Thank you, my friend. He says, all I wanted was a Pepsi. Self-deleting tendencies. There you go. And he just wouldn't give it to me. Just one Pepsi. Yeah. The surf punks were fun too. Somebody ripped my stick. That guy must be a prick. Guess I finally ran out of luck. If I ever find him, he's gonna get bleep. Yep. That board was really fine and bought it in Hawaii. It was one of a kind. Anyway, Pepsi is not good for you. Most sodas are not good for you. It's not just all the artificial stuffs. It's the fact that they are putting high fructose corn syrup in your system, which, while sweet-ish, is not good-ish for you-ish. So don't do ish. Like Doritos, tortilla chips. Oh, you want the poker chips. You're getting them, dude. You're getting them. I promise. I promise. Miravita, you will never know anything about my home. Mikey, it's okay. Everybody knows you're traveling. Mike's one of the busiest people I know. He really is. And he's one of my friends that tries to keep me more grounded by yelling at me for streaming too much or for guesting too much or both of those things or for not jumping into a volcano. I still think that one would have killed me. Anyway. Pilgrim Media, my friend. Hello again. I broke off all contact to Disney shills. Me too. I am so unpopular, or you may have seen this over the weekend if you follow me on X. And if you're not following me on X, why are you not following me on X? Come on now. But some of these silly people with 7 followers on X tried to attack Valiant Renegade and Intern, me and Pro, and all the other people there. I was like, thank you for promoting my channel. And who are you? Yeah. Look, there's going to be a lot of silly people out there. I don't even remember the name of the guy, but all 7 of the followers responded. It was very funny. And I'm going, okay, you're not a threat. You're trying to drag us into an argument so you can promote it, try to build your website. I tried to figure out what the value of a blog site is, just for fun. And I'm like, the evaluators for what something's worth were not being able to find this. That's how huge it is, according to their own internal counters that are available through the metadata. They have one article that was doing really well that had 240 views from original views from unique IPs. So it was interesting. I'm like, bro, don't go at people. Don't try to build your channel by going at people. It doesn't work. It's one of the reasons why I don't attack other channels. It just doesn't work. I'll talk about stuff like this, but I'm not going to give you any information on this person. You can find it for yourself. It's just really funny. Oh, and I think there's somebody operating in our fellowship that was a television actor. That's pretending a different past. I might actually do a conversation about that because I'm like, that's disingenuous. We have some people who are actors and former actors in our fellowship, and they're awesome. But this person is fabricating a lot, and I'm uncomfortable with that. So, but my sensibilities likely, I probably won't do anything about it. So, but getting rid of Disney shills, good thing. And thank you for the $2 super chat. Man, I went on a tangent there. And Cynthia Carter's out there. Maravita's out there. Got a lot of lovely ladies out there. Many. Look up oxalates. Oxalate dumping would change your life. Okay, I will. Is it Wakanda Thanksgiving too? Now, come on. We love our Canadian friends. I just like to make fun. So, Putin's cat's it wasn't me. Weird stuff. I love Halloween. Who's down on Halloween? How can you be down on Halloween? Awesome ones here. Stunt Brat is a great actor. Stunt Brat is awesome. Stunt Brat is awesome. She is for real. retired stunt person. I don't know if she's really, really, really retired, but maybe. But you get to see her here every once in a while. Just amazing. Love her to pieces. Walter Tomaszewski says, cute and funny Walter is here too. Okay. Jamie Lee Curtis. Or Jamie Curtis? I don't know. What? I'm so lost. There are people that badmouth on Twitter and then block me from responding. I don't know anything about that. So I don't block you. In fact, every time you send one of those little clips, I promote it, don't I? Halloween 78. Yes, Jamie Lee Curtis. Still love that to this very day. Very impressionable 8-year-old that I was. You realize the greatest things happen in my youth? I got to see Star Wars in the theater. I got to see Halloween in the theater. Too young for sure. I got to see a lot of stuff. Jaws. Lots of things I got to see too early. Way too early. Sean says, I stick how? To Blue Sky primarily. It's a lot more. What? It's a lot more fun. Dude, I cannot deal with that level of insanity. Did you train? I know you didn't, but I was going to ask, did you train as a psychologist? Or I don't know. You had to have some kind of training to defeat all the mental over there. Weird. Okay. Well, all right. Time for a movie. Cheers, CC. Hey, have fun. And thank you, Wildman Yavin, and everybody else here. I realize I'm rambling at this point. So do me the small favor of checking out today's video. It breaks down the box office and kind of calls out the fact that we are not in good shape when it comes to cinema. And that's a real shame. I miss good movies, but and I'm going to try to grab the update real quick while we close out. But there really wasn't a big thing as far as earnings go this week. The total number of films released, as I mentioned in the video, grew, as I suggested it would, to 32 from, I believe, 25 that I reported at the time of recording. And I think it said it exactly that way in the video you are about to watch, I hope. And it still is well under $100 million. In fact, it's under $70 million in total box office weekend here domestically. $69.4 million to be more precise. And look, I mean, by the time you're done with the singular, what should have been a blockbuster film in over 4,000 theaters at 33.5 million after Tron, which is a failure already. The next closest film is Roofman at 8 million. And it just goes down from there. By the time you get down to the 10th movie, which is a horror film called Good Boy, led by a dog, it's 1.4 million. 1.4 million in earnings for the weekend. That's the 10th of a top 10 list. It's very bad. Very bad indeed. All right. Well, we are going to bail out of here. I want to say thanks to each and every one of you, unless somebody fired in a gifty or a super chat. We are going to have to bounce. I want to say hi to Jaco Ellers. Good to see you, my friend. I haven't seen the movie. Oh, I have seen the movie. I enjoyed it. Some people do. I'm going to say this in my criticisms of anything that I watch, anything that I preview, anything that I'm sent clips or treatments of or whatever. I will say this. I'm not here to yuck your yum. I'm not here to yuck your yum. If you liked it, good. Good. Somebody needs to like it, you know? Somebody needs to like it. That's why they made it. Hey, Cynthia Carter says, wow. So no one was hitting the theaters this weekend. I mean, whoa. I mean, our family didn't either, but ouch for the theater owners. And that's what I have been yelling about for 3 years now, whether it be on Midnight's Edge on their morning channel, Midnight's Edge in the morning, or when I'm with Tom, or when I'm doing stuff with comics, or doing stuff with Pro or that Park Place. The things I talk about consistently are the fact that the theater owners, the exhibitors, are suffering. And it's not just here in the States, it's around the world. And while a lot of the European places will have multiple language films running, the dominant earners still tend to be American films most of the time. So nobody's going, and the industry is collapsing. But look, theaters have always been resilient, even in times of economic downturn or major trouble or depression or any number of other things, because they could always turn to something else. And in the 60s, they could turn to closed circuit television at that time to have fights and things like that in theaters. Those were actually big earners, so it can happen. Plus, I mean, look, I may rent a theater just to have a video game tournament, so you don't know. There's lots of stuff to do. On that note, we need to bounce out. I want to say thank you to each and every one of you. You are the best around. And go check out. My video for today. Be prepared, because tomorrow you'll see me multiple times. It's a Tuesday, including after T3PO, because Snortopoopas just asked this. I will be doing a thank you for your attention to this matter podcast show, and that will be after T3PO tomorrow. And again on Thursday. We are going to move to Thursday schedule. I think I say this in today's video as well. And I'm going to try to get another one out there. So, yeah, I appreciate y'all. Please know that. Never take you for granted. And I get to say hi to the bone. All right. Be sure to take care of yourself. Take care of others. And until next time, how about Hobo Gandalf?